Hi, I had a really cool conversation today because I gave some ascenders, I gave some people the homework of when you close your eyes and meditate to just to be present, but also with your eyes open through daily life today. Just play with recognizing the perfection of what is in every moment. Now, just that created an immense dialogue. And really, it was started because somebody was saying to me, but how can you really experience and pretend that there's perfection all around us when the politicians are saying this, and when kids on the street are acting like that, and then when I go into the supermarket and people being rude? Like, how can you say that it's perfection when this is what I see? So the conversation started out really brilliantly, actually, because firstly, if your reality that you're taking on board, like the things that are making you angry or frustrated, are coming through a radio or television, it's not actually happening in your life. It's actually through a program, and then it's like information that may be right or wrong. And it's always very much what could happen, what we believe is going to happen in a month's time, in a year's time, in 6 months' time. So are you going to be angry or frustrated for the next month, for this next 6 months, on the assumption that this could happen? So that's a really interesting way of looking at things, or looking at news, and seeing how you choose to become angry with what's being said, or what you're watching, what you're choosing to watch. And then you're choosing then to react the way you react, and perhaps for the next month, right? So you're giving up your peace and your contentment and your happiness on the assumption that something could happen because you heard it on the radio today, or because you saw it on television or on the news. So that's one interesting thing to just look at, because does the world need more angry people yelling at their television screen? And the answer, I hope, is no. So what do? You take your reality back into your room, into your house, into your life, and realize that you actually have the ability to be happy now. You have the ability to have a wonderful day, a fabulous next couple of days, a fabulous next weeks and months, regardless of whether whatever you heard on that television is going to happen or not, right? So, I mean, I get it. You don't bury your head in the sand and pretend it's not being talked about, but don't give up your happiness for that. And I love the reality of that. The actually anchored feet on this earth, living in this moment reality of being the person you want to be in the life that you're living, rather than this angry person yelling at the television screen and calling everybody idiots and the world's a disaster, all that kind of stuff. Well, because it's not reality, right? It's not actually happening to you right now in your life, as you breathe, as you walk out around your house, as you walk out the door, as you walk down the street. That's actually not happening. How lucky you are. So instead, choose to realize that you can be blissed out and happy. You deserve that today, and focus on that and activate that. And as to regarding, seeing kids treating each other on the street, if you feel to say something, say it. Otherwise, realize that they're going through their own learnings and growth too, nobody wants to be bullied, and nobody likes to see bullies. But do you know all sides of the story if you wish to intervene? So do what feels right to you. And even if you see people acting like jerks in a supermarket, there's nothing wrong with going up and just going, oh my gosh, a little bit of kindness will be great. Or do you feel to just, it's none of your business and you should walk away? Which is absolutely fine, but don't spend the next day or days or hours or weeks turning it over that the world's a bad place. No, you just saw something and one interaction, and you don't know the whole story. So let it go. And a story that I used as an example to actually fit with the conversation I was having is this. there was two, let's just call them Buddhists. There was two Buddhists walking down the road, and their belief was that they weren't supposed to touch women for whatever reason. So this woman was in front of them, and she fell over, and she was dropping all her groceries. So one of the Buddhists just stood there. The other Buddhist jumped up to help her, picked her off the ground, made sure that her knees and her hands weren't bleeding, helped her get her groceries, and wished her on her way. She walked in one direction, they walked in another. An hour later, the other Buddhist goes, "Oh my gosh, why did you do that? You know it's against our belief or our way to do that, to touch a woman." This is my example. The point is, the other guy then said to his companion, "Hey, I picked her up an hour ago. It appears like you're still carrying her. Maybe it's time you put her down." So that's what I mean by all of this. You can hear things and you can disagree and you can get mad in the moment, right? And just go, that's stupid. But for you to be angry, for you to carry it all day long, for you to then hold conversations 2 days later with strong opinions, for you to still be upset or anxious a week later, now that's your choice. And what I love about meditation is you get to see this so clearly that you don't need to live this way. In fact, why give up your peace? Enjoy life. Have a wonderful experience of life today, tomorrow, all next week, all next month. Make that your priority. Let the other stuff, the chips will land where they're gonna fall. And how much say do we have in some of that, especially if it's talking about politics or, governmental stuff. But for your happiness in your life today is your choice.